Is he not perfect?
No, it's the perfect iteration of that character.
I mean, Raul Julia, man, he is so good in this. And I put him up. All right, so I just wrote an article. In this article on Rotten Tomatoes, I would say you'll be very proud of me. I have a line in here. So,
always am.
So if you read this line in here, I put where's it at? You're gonna love it. You might cry a little bit.
I'm looking forward to it.
Let's see. I put where's it at? I gotta find the line. I wrote a huge piece. I can't believe they let me get away with so much. I mean, I wrote so much, but I wrote so the "It Was Tuesday" moment. It belongs on the Mount Rushmore of underappreciated lines, right alongside Skeletor's "Loneliness of Evil" moment in Masters of the Universe, and Andrew Scott's "It's like kick ass or kiss ass, and I'm busting heads" monologue in Universal Soldier.
Yeah, no, that's the perfect sentence.
Isn't that aren't you proud of me?
I really am. You really just encapture everything I like about you into one sentence.
And he got the bad half.
And he got the bad half.
He wouldn't give him the water because that's good. He would give him the muck.
Okay. Even 13-year-old me who wanted to love this movie, who did love this movie, who saw it opening weekend, bought it on VHS, and then as an adult bought it on DVD. I have 3 complaints about this movie, Mark.
I want to hear it.
Okay. Do you want to take a guess at one of them? Or do you want me to just tell you?
Just tell me, because I've been getting every answer wrong, and it makes me question how much I know about you, man.
Ryu never yelled Hadouken.
Never. And I wrote that in my Rotten Tomatoes article.
That was a moment that was wasted. Similarly, Guile never yelled Sonic Boom.
He should have yelled it when he jumped 40 feet.
If Cammy can yell Dropkick, then Guile needs to be yelling Sonic Boom. Because that was like trademark game. And the other thing was the stealth boat seemed to have some inconsistencies about what actually happened.
It was not stealth.
It was just a boat. But on videotape, it was stealth.
Whoa.
Like when it cut to, like when we were actually there, they'd had a small effect on it, you could see the boat. But then when they were watching it on television, you couldn't see the boat. So I was like, what's actually happening here? That was a little bit confusing to me, that whole thing. It also reminded me a lot of the boat from Missing in Action 3.
That's a sentence I never thought I'd hear in my life. And that's why I love doing these pods with you, man. These eps with you.
Yeah.
And I wrote about 2 of those things in the article. 2 out of 3.
Oh.
66%.
That's not bad.
I knew you know it's 66%. I just had to throw it in. 66.6%, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Though there's a stealth boat in Missing in Action 3.
It's more of a speed, fast. It's like a fast boat.
It's so fast you don't see it?
Right. The Missing in Action trilogy might be a neat pod. We have to watch all 3 of them, though.
Okay.
And because the way that Canon was releasing films, 2 was done first. So they released 2 and then made part 2 a prequel.
Wait, oh, wow.
Yeah, so part 2 was a flashback because it was actually the first one, but it wasn't done in time.
That's amazing.
Isn't that fantastic?
That's the best.
Yeah.
I have another question for you.
Talk to me.
In this Street Fighter world, all right, so this is what happens. We have to believe this is fact in this world. There are many scenes where Jean-Claude Van Damme runs for cover, but instead of jumping behind rocks, he just leans against them.
Yep.
So nothing is stopping him from being shot, but he keeps running to places that are not he doesn't jump behind rocks for cover. He just leans against a rock and shoots at people. What does it, in this world, why does that work?
I think it works in this world, Mark, because this is based on a 2-dimensional fighting game.
Oh, if you go behind something, where'd they go?
You go behind something where they go. So it's all the fighting strategies in this game are 2-dimensional, not 3.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Because he runs to this massive pile of rocks.
Yeah.
Chun-Li and Balrog are there, and they're behind the rocks. He's not. It's styrofoam, but I guess in that world, it's just very light rock.
Right.
So I guess that's right. It's a 2D world, so he has to do it. Now, my last question.
Talk to me.
Fighting Wes Studi as Sagat seems terrifying. The physicality that he throws a kick, and I thought he killed the actor playing Ken.
Yeah.
And then I know it's a gag, but he busts open the punching bag. Wes Studi put. I mean, he's Last of the Mohicans. He's a bad dude. He's in Heat, but
Yep.
he looked like he was trying to Sean Astin, the actor playing Ken.
So I think at this point in time, with
Damien Chapa.
with that caliber of an actor and with this production, knowing all your money's gone to Van Damme and Raul Julia, I think halfway through filming this, you understand it's not going to be winning the Oscar you thought it would be. I think when he filmed that scene, he's just like, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to kick something.
And kick something he did.
Yeah, he went for it.
Watch it again. Did you notice how heavy his kicks are?
He is not pulling any punches.
He's not. I felt bad for Damien. He was getting winged at.
Yeah. No, it looked like very physical stuff going on. And again, at this point in time in filming, I don't think anybody really cared. There was some people that brought everything, like Van Damme and Raul Julia, like they earned all their money. And there were some people that I think just phoned it in.
Yeah. Or they just thought it, like, so these guys, a lot of these guys got hooked to the massage parlors around the area. And
I didn't know that.
So there are oral histories. There are 2 oral histories about this movie that are brilliant, where the guys just got working out. I guess Jean-Claude Van Damme started a relationship with Kylie Minogue on this. These guys were constantly going to massage parlors and spending money and like getting wasted, and they almost rebelled. This guy Benny the Jet, I don't know if you know, he's a famed fight coordinator. He works a lot with John Cusack and other things.
Yep.
So he's like, I can do choreography, but I don't know video game choreography. So he knew nothing about the video game. They just flew him out there because there's no time to prepare. This whole shoot was just, so the explosion at the end, when they do their poses.
They do their poses.
They were only supposed to blow up a quarter of the thing, right? Now, in an oral history done by The Guardian, the assistant director of the second unit, Keith Highgate, admitted that only a quarter of the temple was supposed to explode. However, the whole thing blew up and destroyed $240,000 worth of scaffolding and styrofoam that was built over 4 acres. So
wow.
They were supposed to blow up just a quarter of it. And there's a scene where you see the actors just getting out of the way. But they blew up 4 acres worth, 240,000. The explosion was so big that they took out like acres of land, and they weren't supposed to.
That's fantastic.
But this movie made $100 million, dude.
Oh no, it was a profitable movie. Like, of course, it's going to make money. Van Damme in '93 could paint a picture and it'd make money.
Yeah, 94 Time Cop, that was huge.
Yeah. Now I will say it makes sense, knowing that they had an actual relationship, but all the on-screen chemistry was between Guile and Cammy. And then at the end, they tacked this thing on like, I guess he's going to flirt with Chung-Li now. But I was like, no. He's clearly into Cammy. Like, it was so obvious there was chemistry there.
Yeah, and it was weird, though, that Chung-Li, he was like, yeah, we can hang out as long as you're in that dress.
It was a weird last line of the movie.
Yeah, and then Cammy's in the background kind of looking happy. And I'm like, no.
No, Cammy. No.
I felt bad for Cammy. Because I'd hire her.
Yeah.
I'd hire T-Hawk.
And even Chung-Li was kind of a jerk in this movie.
Yeah.
And she even made fun of her hair. She's like, pigtails, really? And she's like, you're one to talk, because she had those, like, prison guard buns up there.
Yeah, and she went, oh, yeah, you're right. So their plan was to infiltrate the media so they could travel around for 10 years. I guess that's a good cover.
Yeah.
That's a good cover.
They committed to it.
I mean, they were good reporters.
Were they, though? It seemed like very slanted, like, hey, Bison, you're awful, and I'm outside in the street reporting about you. Like, it seemed like very much high school newspaper reporting.
No, in the beginning, though. Remember the official news report? She looked like, I was watching her do when you watch reporters sometimes and they do those weird head twists? Yeah. They're always nodding. She did a lot of that. I'm like, oh, yeah, she studied.
Yeah, no, 100%. I can get behind that. She knew what she was doing.
I mean, man, there's so much to talk about with this movie, but it just brings joy to my face.
It could only exist in '94 when it existed, right? It doesn't fall into the realm where it's so bad it's good. It's its own entity, and I think it works kind of like the 1966 Batman show.
Yeah.
So for kids watching it, they're like, this is the coolest action movie ever. for adults watching it. Like, this is great slapstick. It kind of plays to both things. I think it's a very specific kind of movie to watch.
On the plasma that they give to Blanca, it's like plasma, danger, mutagens.
Right.
And I like that scene where Sagat's like, hey, how about you take some ladies? And the ladies are like, yeah. And then Ryu and Ken are like, no. And the ladies go, oh. They were legit bummed.
Yeah. Finally, some decent guys around here. Everybody else is just like a faceless automaton.
I just thought the ladies' reaction to it. Like, this is a cheeky little picture. I have one more question for you.
Yeah.
In this movie, JCVD does a lot of rib holding at the end. For some reason. I'm hurt. I don't know how to show it, so I'm just going to grab a rib.
Yeah, it's a real pro wrestler thing to do.
Who's the best at doing it? Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he's done a lot of rib grabbing.
Mm-hmm.
Sly Stallone, he's lived on rib grabbing.
Yeah.
JCVD, Wesley Snipes from Blade, remember he's holding his ribs.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis, who's always hurting himself. Vin Diesel, who he'll get shot and then he holds his ribs. He'll get shot in the shoulder and he's like, oh, my ribs. Or Dwayne Johnson holding his ribs, because you can't hurt Dwayne Johnson anymore, but you can damage his ribs.
So 100%, no questions asked, Dwayne Johnson, because it's a pro wrestling move. Is I'm laying on the ground, can't move, got to buy some time, I'm going to hold the ribs. So he's the only guy, I think, who has earned the right to do it, because he did it for so many years in the ring. Everybody else is just lazy acting.
Yeah, that sounds about, because he's done some very good rib acting. And Walking Tall, his rib acting.
Now, this is maybe an insulting question, but have you seen the Joe Don Baker Walking Tall?
No, I have not.
You've not seen the original Walking Tall, Mark?
Yeah.
You haven't seen Billy Jack and you haven't seen Walking Tall.
Nope.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Is this our first argument?
No, it's not, but it's going to be our second episode of Remake or Mistake.
Ooh.
Walking Tall.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that.
I like Johnny Knoxville. I miss the Rock movies where Neil McDonough puts a hurting on him. Right. Nowadays, he's you can't hurt him.
No. Now, here's a question for you. Better Johnny Knoxville movie, Walking Tall or The Last
Stand? Last Stand. 170 times.
Right.
He blows up somebody with a flare gun.
Last Stand, when that was like Arnold's first Arnold's back into movies after being the Governator, was a movie that my wife and I were like, we need to see that in the theater. And we went to a little theater in Barrie to watch it, and we were the only people there, and we were cheering out loud in that theater when things were going. That movie is so fun.
Is it not? It's so fun. So you know the guy who directed it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the guy who directed it I think he's amazing. He did The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, right? Yep. He did A Tale of Two Sisters, which is incredible, a crazy horror movie. And he did a movie called I Saw the Devil, which is one of my favorite horror movies of the last. It puts you through the meat grinder and then puts you back into it.
Right.
But I love The Last Stand. And Megan and I, that's like our spirit movie.
Yeah. So for Heather and I, it's the same thing. That or Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Yeah, that's a good picture right there.
Both movies we saw in the theater, essentially alone, just like laughing out loud.
I put that actress in every list I do. What's her?
Kat Dennings?
Yeah, Kat Dennings. She's great.
She's fantastic.
So that director, right? He made these amazing Korean films. He did I Saw the Devil 80%, Good, the Bad, and the Weird. Last Stand's a 61% movie. That seems about right, would you say?
Yeah, it's an acquired taste.
60. I think that sounds about right. It's just so good.
I think if you're an Arnold fan from the 80s and 90s, it's the perfect movie.
Yeah, and Johnny Knoxville blows the dude up. His bandolier explodes.
And it's just like, it has elements of the Fast and the Furious with that guy just driving that car for the whole movie.
And there's a cornfield thing. The cornfield car chase. Whoa.
And there was a
cornfield car chase.
Conan the Barbarian sword.
Oh, yeah, there was. And I liked the action stars in it.
Yeah, everything about it was great.
We should talk about it on the pod.
We should. More than we just did.
Yeah, you're right. We'll do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Question for you.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot and not a lot about Street Fighter, but should we move on with our JCVD movie squad now?
I am ready, and I think I think my list is gonna maybe surprise and polarize you.
All right. So you want to tell the listeners what they're in for?
So what we're doing is we're trying to put together again our classic 7 pictures